You've made it. The grand finale. Here we are at the toast speech. This is the celebration of everything you've accomplished this semester. Isn't that awesome? I mean, anytime you're giving a toast speech, you're celebrating the stuff of life. You're celebrating graduation, retirement, weddings, all of the wonderful things. This is the speech that each one of you really needs to know how to give. This is the one that you were likely going to give sometime in the near future. You've got friends getting engaged, getting married, graduation soon. Your parents are of retirement age. It's important that you learn to do these right. These occasions matter. And you want to make them special for the people that you love. So let's talk a little bit about toasting etiquette. In a formal setting, most often at some sort of a banquet or dinner, when it's time for you to give your toast, you'd stand. You'd grab your glass. There's an easy trick when you think about glasses and how to hold them. If it's chilled, white wine. If it's chilled, champagne. You want it to stay chilled. And in order to keep it cool, you're going to hold the glass by the stem. As your speech progresses, you're going to address that person specifically by looking at them. You might from time to time look around the group and do things like, "We all know that Sally." And you would acknowledge and nod to the person. So now that you've addressed the person, to someone who, or to Dan, you're going to talk about specific things that are admirable about that person. And the more that those examples resonate around the room, the more meaningful they are for everyone. It's almost like an inside joke and everybody's in on it. One of the types of colorful language you can use in these speeches is a parallel construction. In a parallel construction, you're going to repeat the same sentence at least 3 times. It might be something like, "You were patient when you taught me to drive a stick shift. You were patient when I brought home friends you didn't exactly like. You were patient, sort of, when you were trying to teach me algebra that neither one of us could remember quite how to do. But most of all, you were patient every day when you sat down and you listened to the stories about my day, the stories about my life, and the stories of things that really mattered to me." Repeating a sentence gives that impact, because one of the things you want to do with a toast is you want this sense of it's building. Not only you're great this way, but also this way, and also this way. And notice in each one of my parallels, I told a small story. So the toast speech is about the recipient, yes, but really it's about celebrating everybody together. Another type of colorful language that works really good for these is a metaphor. And you can wrap that metaphor around a theme. Maybe I would say, "You are my butterfly. You started out kind of ugly, and it was a little hard for you to do things at first, but eventually you found your way. Eventually you found your wings. And now I'm looking and you're ready to go into your next adventure. And I want you to know, my butterfly, your wings are ready, but my heart is not." And you can take that small metaphor and you can weave it throughout. And then, of course, I will be telling small stories through it. You start by saying to someone, you add colorful language, you tell specific stories, you make sure that it builds up that way. Typically, a toast is memorized because it's really awkward if I have my notes here and my glass here and I'm like, "To someone who," it loses impact. Practice, practice, memorize. Finally, we're at the end of our toast. And at your toast, you need to come up with a one-liner that fits into everything you've said so far. So if I talk about the butterfly, I might say, "And so, my butterfly, it's time for you to spread your wings. But remember to always fly back home." You can also look up quotes from quote websites. There's lots of them out there. And find something that fits the occasion, fits the person. The one that I liked said, "May we generally be happy. May we generally be witty. May we generally be honest, but above all, may we always be interesting to you." So you have a sense of building. You have a sense of conclusion. So let's talk about what you do now. So now we'll say, "May you always be interesting." And we drink. Now, there's a few rules about drinking. The first one is this. If I don't drink to the toast that was given, if I'm in the audience and I don't drink, it means, heck no, I don't like this person. I'm not going to drink to that. So it's considered rude or an insult. It's considered an insult to attempt to pretend to drink with an empty glass. Keep your glass full. But what about the person being toasted who's sitting there? What are they supposed to do? Well, if you're the person being toasted, generally your job is to smile and nod. And maybe mouth some thank yous or ha-has or whatever. But when it comes time to, do you drink or do you not? Do you drink to yourself? The answer is no, you don't. So now you know. You know how to hold the glass. You know how to write the toast. You know how to build to the climax. You know how to be a good audience member. There's only one thing left. Go create. Have you ever been to an occasion and someone did that? What does it mean? Well, it really just depends on the setting. Oftentimes it means it's a very crowded room, it's really noisy, I want to get everybody's attention because I'm going to give a toast, and so I'll do that. Other times, particularly in the South, if you go to a wedding and people are sitting around the table, this, to clink or not to clink? That is the question. Well, if you have one of these and you're with your friends and you're sitting around the table, it might be appropriate and say, "So to you, cheers, prost, clink." But what about here? I bet you've been to occasions where they clink, and I bet you've been to occasions where they don't clink. And I have to say, I did a lot of research on this to find the definitive answer, and there is none. There doesn't seem to be a north-south. There doesn't seem to be a high manners, low manners. Some people clink and some people don't. So how do you navigate that situation? Well, usually what you do is you look to the person who would be considered the leader. So if you're at a wedding, you look at the lead table. If you're at a business dinner, you look at the boss. So where did the tradition come from? Clinking, that is. Well, my favorite movie genre happens to be any movie where there's guys with swords and armor. And in those movies, they almost always have some version of the epic scene where there's a banquet hall, and there's a king at the table, and the opposing team comes into the room, and they're sitting across from each other, and we don't know how this is going to end. Are they going to be friends? Is somebody going to get poisoned? Is somebody going to die? Are they going to make peace? In that tradition, it was typical for somebody to pour the drink for both parties. And then sometimes they would actually have a royal wine taster or a person whose job it was to drink to see if it was poisoned. Well, if we're trying to make a negotiation and I don't trust you not to poison me by giving this away, it may not be the start of a good negotiation. So what I might do if I'm the king and I have my drink that's been poured, to show that I trust you as an act of goodwill, instead of taking my glass and having my taster taste it, I'm going to reach up, I'm going to clink your glass as a way of saying, I trust you not to poison me. And then I'll drink. Let's talk specifically about the toast for this class. You're going to be assigned a partner. You should research that person in terms of, you might ask them, remind me about your speeches. If we did voices this semester, remind me of some things you did in the practice speeches. That's going to give you some stuff to work with. The second thing, is make sure that whatever you talk about in the toast is something that the class knows about. It's something that's happened in the class in some way. When you do your toast, make sure that you're standing and that you're holding your glass properly, that you're looking to the person. You're either saying to someone who, and then at the end, so to you, Jake. Or you can say the first thing to Jake, and then you can go on. Make sure that you're building to a climax. Make sure that you've memorized your speech. Make sure that you're using colorful language of some sort, with parallel and metaphor being the easiest, but clearly if you want to go for the antithesis, you should try it. Make sure that it ends with a famous quote, a poem, a song lyric, or something from a toast website where it's that clear sense of closure, not just, so do you, we drink. I want you to go to the next level and make sure that you do that. These speeches aren't timed, but they typically work out to be about 1 to 2 minutes. You need to type it up and turn it in advance of your speech so that I know and you know that you've put the work in to do this right. And then after the toast, you're going to send that to your person so they have a special memory of you and the class.